All right, so I'm gonna start a review about a show that's on Disney Plus based upon the movie Big Hero 6. This is a little mini series that's like 6 episodes long, so it's not that long of a show at all. And each of the episodes are pretty short. It's like, I think maybe 6 or 7 minutes, maybe 10, I don't remember. Uh, but it's a short little series called Baymax, and it is about Baymax. He goes around town helping people whenever he hears in pain, because he's a healthcare robot. Now, I'm not going to go too in depth with all of the episodes here. I'm just going to state their general sort of plot, and I'm going to tell what I like about them. So, first episode is about Aunt Cass spraining her ankle after she rolls it or trips on something. But yeah, she sprains her ankle and is out of commission for a while, and Baymax runs the cafe while she is healing. She is worried about Baymax messing this up and sees that he is incredibly slow at managing a cafe and giving people coffee and stuff like that. So multiple times she tries to get up and work at the cafe and intervene, and then Baymax catches her multiple times and puts her back on the couch so that she can heal up. Then, it all culminates in this big moment where she tells him that she's worried that not being at the cafe and working there for an extended period of time will, lose customers, She's worried that this business that she built up will fall under if she does not work on it all the time. And then at the end, we get a nice moment where she sees, she looks at the footage of a camera that she put on her cat, and sees that all the patrons at the cafe sort of made a get well soon video using the camera for her. Really sweet. I liked that episode. We got to see more of Aunt Cass, which wasn't seen that much in the Big Hero 6 movie, and I have not watched the animated show yet. So this was some character development. Also, I liked the moment where Baymax told Aunt Cass that everything will be fine in such an ominous way as he walks down the stairs while staring at her. That was funny. Anyways, next episode is titled Kiko. It's about an old woman with joint pain. She exclaims in pain at, her joint pain and stuff, and Baymax hears that and tries to help her. At first, she is reluctant. She tries to push Baymax away. She shuts the door on him and, doesn't want to be helped at all. Eventually, like, well, Baymax suggests that swimming would help her, as uh, taking water sports like swimming and stuff would help her joint pain, and she heavily refuses it. And Baymax gets the uh, inference, is that what it's called? That she has a phobia of water. So he tries to get her over her fear of water by slowly introducing her to some water, like placing a kiddie pool outside of her door so she steps in it when she walks outside. Or like accidentally spraying her with a hose. Now, I'm going to go off on a tangent here. One thing I like about Baymax's character is that he is a robot, which means, he doesn't really have emotions. He can simulate them because, he has to have some bedside manner. He is a medical robot after all, and he is programmed to deal with any medical situation. So that means that he has to have at least some bedside manner, which requires showing emotion. But the thing is that also sometimes it looks like he's showing like too much emotion. Like he accidentally sprays Kiko with a hose, and then he looks at the hose and actually like moves like he's shocked a bit, like, oh dang, I accidentally did this. Then he immediately turns it off. I think the scene would have been better if he looked at the hose and then calmly sort of loosened his grip to stop spraying. So, well, it would be like a robot. Because another thing I learned is that the animators for Big Hero 6 intentionally broke some principles of animation to animate Baymax. Like the sort of in and out movements, like the ease in and ease out movements of animating, are not present in robots because they are designed to move as efficiently as possible. So, having sort of efficient, swift movements and not have him fumble around with the hose would have made him seem more like an actual machine. Now, I know this is a small nitpick, and now I'm gonna stop on this tangent. Anyways, eventually he learns that Kiko was not afraid of the water. It's because the community pool center where he advised her to exercise at, she used to go there with her husband, and it brings back painful memories because he is dead. So, she doesn't want to do it. But Baymax convinces her to do so, reminds her that, she can make new memories, and, stuff like that, reassurance and all that. I don't remember what he said, but it was very good advice for dealing with loss. So, yeah, she's convinced to exercise at the community pool. And then the third episode. Okay. Third episode, uh, there is a schoolgirl in middle school named Sophia. She has to do a talent show routine with a friend. And when and she goes to the bathroom, she realizes that she has started her period and is incredibly embarrassed about it. So Baymax helps her by, reassuring her and helping her get pads and stuff like that. And I liked this episode too. I like pretty much all the episodes, but I like this episode because, with our culture, we seem to make this, we sort of make the process of menstruation seem embarrassing and like something that should be feared when it's a natural bodily process, like going to the bathroom. Like, sure, it's a sign of aging, but it's not like everything's gonna like change in your life. Now, I've read some research that girls are menstruating at earlier and earlier ages. I think the earliest age now was 11, when it used to be somewhere like 13 or 14. So they need to learn about this. And I think a show aimed at children, at younger audiences, is a good way to tell them about it. Because it can be an incredibly stressful process for them. Like, they feel pain in their stomachs, and they feel all these emotions, and they're bleeding and stuff like that. They need to be able to feel better about themselves. They need to feel calm. They need to feel like this isn't going to ruin their life, and it's not. Anyways, just because it's happening doesn't make your life worse off. It's just a natural process. And it's not going to change who you are. You're still you. You are still you, even after 10 years of life. Even after 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 70 years. You might not be like the same as in on the outside, but you still got that same sort of mind. You're still same on the inside. Anyways, also, I liked the representation in this episode. There was a scene where Baymax went to get pads at a supermarket or convenience store or whatever. And since he's a robot, he doesn't know which brand is best. So he asks like a bunch of people about which brand is best, and they all give him different sort of suggestions and say, well, this one has better absorption, and this one feels more comfortable, and all that. And among all the people who tell him, like, he should get this brand of pads, there was a there was a person who looked male, and I'm like, oh, cool. They put in a trans person there. Didn't expect that from a Disney show. That they would just uh, I didn't expect the show creators to be that progressive, where they just included, people from LGBTQ and whatever stuff from like so casually. Usually, like Disney stirs up the media, makes a big show about it, then immediately edits them out and censors them for China. But they were so casually introduced. They didn't make a big show about it. They didn't go, oh wow, look at this person. This person used to be a woman, but now they're a man. It's not like that. It's done naturally. And they don't seem like stereotypes either. They don't have like outlandish stereotyped voices. They don't act flamboyant. They aren't stereotypes either. They're just normal people. Anyways, Baymax helps Sophia with her troubles. She doesn't want to be in the talent show because of that, but he eventually convinces her by giving her some words of advice. And then she does the talent show trick with yo-yos. Anyways, on to episode 4. What's his name? Mbina, I think, or something else. It starts with an M. Forgot his name. But he is a food truck guy. He sells fish soup from a food truck. And he has a crush on this guy who sells applesauce at an apple-themed stand. And then he suddenly develops an allergy to fish, which is like his whole thing. The only thing he sells is fish. So him developing an allergy to it is not very good for him or his business. He states that his parents built this business. All they knew was fish. They took a chance and were daring, and they made a whole business of selling fish soup and other fish-related foods. Anyways, Baymax comes in and says that he can't have fish anymore, and that he needs to get an allergy shot. Then Baymax pulls out a needle from his body full of what is presumably the medicine you use for allergies or allergic reactions. It's like a needle that comes out of his finger. Anyways, the guy runs away from Baymax. Like, literally, there's a chase scene where Baymax chases this guy across town in the food truck, menacingly, probably unintentionally menacingly holding up the needle. The gags with Baymax looking ominous or sinister is really funny, considering that all he wants to do is help people. Anyways, they recklessly chase each other across the town until Baymax saves him from a car accident that he almost caused himself. Like, that's really cool how Baymax has these quick reactions and stuff. Like, something I failed to mention from the episode titled Kiko is that Kiko throws a knitting quill or a knitting needle at him like a throwing knife, and he catches it midair without even looking at it. I think that bit was in the trailers because of how unintentionally cool it looks. But yeah, he catches a knitting needle in midair. Like a like a crazy master of martial arts. Anyways, he manages to grab the guy, jump out of the truck. He tosses the guy in the air. He lands in front of the truck so it doesn't crash into the wall, and instead bounces off of his soft body, and he catches the guy as he's falling down. Anyways, they talk. Baymax convinces him that if his parents could take a big risk, a big daring chance to start a whole new business, then he could take a big risk and be daring enough to switch his business from fish to something else. So he does. And he also asks out to the apple stand guy at the end for a date, which works. And it was a nice moment. Anyways, then the episode 5, titled Yachi. It's about a stray cat. And Baymax chases the stray cat all throughout town so that he could help it because it swallowed an AirPod. It swallowed an AirPod while trying to eat someone's sandwich, I think. And so it's playing like radio out of its mouth. It's playing like songs and radio stations out of its mouth. And it's kind of funny. Anyways, Baymax chases him throughout the town into an abandoned warehouse. Now, mind you, Baymax also has a bunch of holes in him that he has covered up with bandage that he dispenses out of his finger. So, yeah. Anyways, he manages to help Yachi. There's also a bit where Yachi, the cat, climbs up onto like shelves in the warehouse to get away from Baymax, and instead of doing the instead of waiting for him or something, Baymax just grabs a drill with he grabs a drill and unscrews the shelves to make him topple over to get to Yachi, which seems incredibly dangerous for a robot that is programmed to save human lives and to help people. But anyways, he manages to massage the AirPod out of Yachi's throat, but then he runs low on battery. Like, so low that he gets in that sort of drunk state that we saw in the movie. You know, there's a callback to him saying "hairy baby," which is a callback to the movie when he's caressing the cat. Not Yachi, but Aunt Cass's cat. Anyways, he fails to plug in his retractable charging cord in the wall outlet in the warehouse. So he... Do you mind? Freaking semi-drivers, am I right? Anyways, so he fails to plug himself into the wall socket at the warehouse, and his battery basically dies, which means he turned off. Then a shelf falls near Baymax, which puts debris like on top of him. Yachi escapes, and then the episode ends to a part 2, which is the last episode titled Baymax. So, Hiro wakes up. Hiro Hamada from the first, from the movie. And he gets an alert on his app. Apparently, so this is something I failed to mention. In the intro, in the theme intro for the show, there's like a bit where it shows Baymax's position in the city. And apparently that was a display of Hiro's phone screen. He apparently has an app that tracks Baymax. So the signal was lost because Baymax was shut down by losing power. And he goes with Aunt Cass, who is completely fine, which means that over the course of this series, it has been a few weeks, like, since Aunt Cass sprained her ankle. So over the span of a few weeks, he's been helping different people throughout the city while Cass was healing. So, anyways, that's the timeline, I guess. Anyways, Hiro and Cass go out to find Baymax. They use the tracker to show where he has been, and they go to the different people who Baymax has helped. So everyone teams up to find Baymax. While they're all searching, Kiko finds Yachi, and she's led to the warehouse along with everyone else. And apparently, they can't get in because the warehouse is scheduled to be demolished, like blown up by charges. So Baymax will be destroyed along with the warehouse. So they gotta get in there real quick. So the food truck guy, I'm sorry if I forgot his name. Food truck guy and Cass, they distract the construction workers by serving food and coffee from the food truck, while Kiko, Sophia, Hiro, and Yachi travel through a manhole and into the warehouse. Hiro uses some microbots that were left over from the movie in order to open the manhole. And they go in and they try to pull Baymax out, but he's too heavy. Food truck guy and Cass are unable to stall the construction workers anymore. And they're about to blow up the building. Yachi runs away because he doesn't want to die. Everyone else is trapped in there because the manhole cover broke the microbots and shut on them. All seems to be lost until the foreman, I guess, sees the top of the warehouse and sees Yachi. He's up there on the roof. Yachi intentionally distracted them. Like, I'm not blowing up a cat. So, it's delayed until, anyways, they managed to safely retrieve Baymax. I'm thinking, how'd they do that? How'd they retrieve Baymax? Like, didn't show that. It just crossfades to Baymax activating after a recharge. So anyways, we got a nice moment with the group of people that Baymax helped and everything, and it ends on a happy note. Anyways, I liked this show. I liked the short episodes that we saw of Baymax helping different people in the city. That's actually a pretty good sounding premise for a show, because it's Baymax doing what he was always meant to do. He was designed to be a helping robot that would heal people and help them through their issues, whether they be physical, mental, or emotional. Like, he was literally designed to be a medical robot. I might be treading on words that I already said, but yeah. And it's good to see that. I like that very much. I hope we get to see more episodes of that. Anyways, that is my review of Baymax 2022. Anyways, bye.